Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another channel. I'm back again. It's becoming a regular in a minute, isn't it? So great. And I just love doing my contents, my channel, and having a great time. So if you like my videos, if you smash your likes up and subscribe if you are new, and also leave the comments in the comment sections down below, and I'll read out the best I can. So after last night's shambolic performance again last night, we have now gone 8 games, 6 defeats, 2 draws. That is absolutely shocking. And I changed the name into Get Boost Out Now. It should be funny, but it's not funny, isn't it, at this moment in time? Because last night, I've never ever seen a performance like that in my life. Honestly, I looked at the team lined up. I thought, oh my God, please no, please don't. And then I looked at it. He goes and play a 5-4-1. And Twitter was in meltdown. And I was quite meltdown as well when I put the team sheet out as well, having me watch along. So I spoke to a few people yesterday. Excuse me. I spoke to my partner in crime who helped us on the live watch along yesterday, GM Sharky, and he's absolutely furious, but wasn't surprised. And also Paul from the Team Review, and he was absolutely seething with anger. So I don't blame him. He could be the new DT of AFTV, but obviously on my channel. So the fact of the matter is, look at the team sheets. I feel there's going to be one winner there, and I want it to be us. And when you have 88% of the session with football, and we only have 12, my God, it's absolutely shocking again. And this manager, seriously, he's getting it left and right everywhere. Not the fans are putting on the pressure. He's put himself under pressure. The media as well is putting him under pressure, and the press as well. The problem is, though, this manager don't want a hard time. He's getting an easy out in a minute, and he's lucky he's not getting it in the stadium, because if the fans were along the stadium, Mr. Bruce would have given the answer to the kitchen. So without further ado, I'll go on to what was said last night, because obviously this is just going to be, should have got done last night, but I just had out of time after the shambolic performance we had yesterday. So like I said, please like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment section down below. And like I said, please subscribe if you're new. And I'm 8 away from the magic 200 at this moment in time. Now let's go into what he said last night. And Steve was asked by the BBC about the game, the red card, and the performance. And he said, I've got no issues with the red card. We can't argue with that, and you can't argue with how poor we were in the first half. We were absolutely shocking, seriously. But you chose the team, Steve. You don't played 5-4-1. It ain't good enough. But the penalty baffles me. The referee got a spot on in real time. It hit Fernandez's hand, but it's not intentional. It could have been a foul on him as well. VAR is supposed to be far clear and obvious decisions. How someone 300 miles away on a TV screen can overturn it is beyond me. Steve, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. But in Italy, if it hits your hand, whether it's accidental or not, it's a straight penalty. Far. Here, it's the same. You cannot. Yes, it was borderline. I watched it time and time again. It was absolute borderline. But it could have gone either way. But once you enter the screen, it was definitely a penalty at the end of the day. But you can be cute as much as you want, but it did struck his hand. Whether it's intentional, it's $1 million question. But for me, it's borderline. But it was given. But even if it didn't have a penalty, I still think Sheffield United would have scored anyway. But at the end of the day, we lost the game. It's as simple as that. And more than Bruce, and that came from Mark Douglas. He said, you know, when the referee goes to the screen, it will be a penalty. It's pathetic. It's beyond me. And then there's a hard chance for Billy Sharp. That's a bad one, by the way. That should be a straight red card. It's blatant. They didn't check it. It's laughable. The whole VAR situation and I don't think anyone enjoys it. I'm struggling to cope with it. Week in, week out, it's ruined the game. Yes, the common mistakes in VAR. Listen, VAR came out, I watch Italian football a lot, and it seems to be successful. But the Premier League, the up in arms of it. But for me, I haven't got a problem with VAR coming in. But at the end of the day, if it's used correctly, so it checks on every little thing. So for me, Steve Bruce is kicking off because he's using VAR as an excuse. Maybe talk about the performance, Steve. And by leader asking the question about how to change the game, he added, "We need half time to change things around, but the send off meant we were hamstrung." Steve, we was hamstrung in the first half, mate. We not had one shot on target. And that was close when Callum Wilson headed it past the post, and that's as good as it got in the first half. We were absolutely shambolic, Steve. You put the system, a 5-4-1, the players seem to be peed off out of your system. Yeah, you are under real pressure. But I'll go on. When you're in the bottom half, you can end up having a run like this. We had a decent start. We knew the festive periods would be difficult, and tonight would be. Well, he's making excuses now. I'm just kind of sick of it. Why don't you just put your hand up and just say, you got your tactics wrong, you're taking full responsibility, which you have said, okay, and just move on. But no, you have to kick off. Your tactics of 5-4-1, it's absolutely shocking. It's horrible. And how many times have you won the game? Can somebody in the comments down the section down below? How many games have you won playing this terrible 5-4-1 formation? When I did the team lineup, I was absolutely foaming. Yeah. And it's just not good enough. It's horrible. You know, the players are not used to it. There's no creativity in the midfield. We've got no decent wingers. And one of the times Sky on the formation, they played a 3-4-3. And Jeff Hendricks was playing on the right side winger. He is not a winger. And I'll be doing my player ratings. I can tell you some of the players will be dropping down zeros. And as all the quarters, I don't give a toss. So, and he also said the first half was arguably as bad as we played in a long time. Why? Because he didn't create an out. We stand off 12%. It's not going to win you games, isn't it, Steve? And on to the feet. I'll keep it short and sweet. We didn't give ourselves a chance going forward, and we didn't create because you haven't got anyone that can create in the midfield. Callum Wilson was absolutely isolated, and he cannot do a lot about it. Yeah, he'd be better off getting service in a fish and chip shop rather than getting the service from our midfield because he's got no creativity. I like Hayden, he's not creativity. I like Sean Landstaff. When he gets that together, he doesn't create enough. And he's been backwards our season. I've been saying that for the whole time. And then on to Steve Bruce on continuous changes. He said, I'm trying to change it in attack because we haven't scored. In hindsight, I needed to change at half-time, but red card stopped it. I'm sorry, you weren't going to change anything, Steve. The only thing is going to change it up when it's in the 70-odd minutes, that's the only change you're going to make. Yeah, so stop making excuses and stop fooling our fans because when you play our system, you don't hardly change a thing. Do you know what I mean? So now this is getting on to its future. It was asked, is he going to walk away? Is he going to resign? And he said, well, it's not on here, but I can tell you now, he did say, you're asking the wrong person for that question. And he added, I will never walk away from a challenge. I understand that, especially in the first half, we were not good enough. And I take responsibility for that. At least he's putting his hand up, but he hasn't done anything about it because this manager should be sacked. He should be sacked soon or die because I never wanted him in the first place. He ain't good enough. This manager is an absolute fraud, and I hate him. Hate is not a word I use strongly or usually enough, but this guy is making up excuses as it gone along. So, one shot on target the whole game, and it's just not good enough. It really isn't good enough for Newcastle. We deserve better as fans. So, I want to go on to the media side of it, and Craig Hope from the Daily Mail, if I can get him up here. So, yes, there you go. This is what Craig Hope had to say, right? And he's absolutely spot on, whether you love it or not. He said, Sheffield United thought they were the worst team in the Premier League until Newcastle turned up at Bramhall Lane, and that's Craig Hope. He added, it has taken 18 months to run an opponent so self-reliant and seemingly obvious to the horrendous start of the season. 2 points for a possible 51, the lowest in top flight history, and so Chris Wilder's side took full advantage of it. Wilder should at least look at Newcastle and wondered if that's one team can finish above, at least on the Evans this contest. I tell you something, I think teams down below can finish above Newcastle now. I think Fulham can do it. I can think Burnley can do it. Brighton, yeah, and West Brom got a slimmer hope at a chance if they put them together, and we don't. Bearing in mind, we've lost 6 games in the last 8. The other 2 were draws, by the way. Then we could be sucked right in it. And the only way to do that is to get Bruce sacked ASAP, because I'm telling you something now, time's down a route for him. He should never be appointed in the first place. And Craig Hope added, the visitors reduced in numbers just for half-time. Ralph Fraser picked up the second booking in 3 minutes, but that was no excuse, for they were dreadful with 11 men. We were dreadful for the whole of the game. It's as simple as that. And he added, Bruce's team sections did not smack on the front door football for which he longs. A 5-man defence were up top against the lowest scores in the country. It looked negative on paper, and so it's transpired on the grass. And Bruce Iroquois was terrified of losing, and that feeling duly spread to his players, who looked if they're starting down the red and white straps. Atletico de Madrid, yeah? It was like watching Atletico Madrid versus Brazil under 23s. I make it funnier. Brazil Z team, because that's who we were last night. We were absolutely shocking, and I think Craig Hope is absolutely right. And he had as well for Newcastle to have nicked a point would have been a robbery. Saying that, the performance of City was criminal. It's been criminal since he took it over. Let's be real. And Bruce is under pressure from supporters after 8 games to make a win and 1 goal in 10 hours of football. But says he will never ever walk away for the challenge. That decision could be made for him if performances and results keep continue. I wanted this guy sacked last night, to be honest with you. I really did. Because at the end of the day, the fans aren't happy. The supporters aren't happy. I'm still not happy. Yeah? I mean, come on, people. Join me channel, man. I haven't got enough people. I send a link out on Twitter. Come on, Howie. I'll do my player ratings later on. So, back to what he said. Now, it's unacceptable. And the way he's acting at the minute towards the press, I think he's an arrogant, two-faced clown. He really is. And to play far at the back continuously and play one up top, the players are not very happy with him at all whatsoever. And when Sheff scored a penalty, there was no, come on, lads, how are you, lads? Let's get back in the game. The heads dropped like a stone. And that tells us everything we need to know, that the players do not want to play for Steve Bruce. It's been proved last night. So, guys, tell us what you think of it, yeah? If you leave a comment section down below and like and subscribe to my channel, I got 192. I need another 8 to make it 200, and please do. So, I'm going to wrap it up here, yeah? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my player ratings later, and that should be fun. Should be interesting. I'll be brutal as well. And until then, that's me press conference reaction. I've got more people to watch as well. But if you've got any questions, yeah, leave a couple minutes. If you've got any questions, yeah, just drop it down there and I'll read back these. Should Steve Bruce should continue in this job? Should it be sacked? The Arsenal game is coming up on Monday. And if you lose heavily in that game, do you think his time is up? And who should take his place? Nigel Pearson's name's been mentioned between me and Sharky and the two of you. And also as well, Eddie Howe's name's been mentioned, but I don't think he's going to come. Should he go for someone in Europe? Maybe. Someone young and refresh and try and get the best out of these players. So like and subscribe to us and we go from there. So like I said, I'm going to wrap it up here. I think I've said enough now. And like I said, we'll be back with another stream around about 7:15, 7:30-ish. And until then, I hope you like my channels and I'll speak to you guys later. Until then, bye-bye.